67 Wine and Spirits, William Leonard-Lee here. We are very, very pleased to have Steve MacRostie, veteran winemaker, pioneer of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, among other things, from Carneros and Sonoma Coast. Steve, thank you so much for coming by.
Good to be here.
So let's talk about your wines. You've got with us today your Sonoma Coast Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, and your Wildcat Vineyard Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. Let's talk about how your operation runs with most of your regular Pinot and your Chardonnay. You source from multiple vineyards, is correct?
We do source from upwards of 25 different vineyards all over Sonoma Coast, which, as you may know, is of course 40% or so of the land area of Sonoma County. So big area that includes the western side of the county and along the border of the north end of the San Francisco Bay. So the more marine influenced parts of Sonoma. And we bring fruit to our winery in Sonoma, and Chardonnay is handled very gently with whole cluster press, straight to the press. It's pretty simple winemaking. The juice lots are fermented in barrel and topped up, and they finish malolactic fermentation sometime after harvest is over, usually late winter, early spring. Everything's barrel aged in French barrels, and everything's bottled usually before the following harvest.
And people call you a pioneer in the sense that you were in the earlier days. You were really concentrating on making a balanced wine that had, some barrel aging, but really wanted to promote the clarity of fruit, the cleanness on the wine. Let's talk about Wildcat. This is a vineyard you discovered in 1997?
Yeah, discovered the site in 97, planted the vineyard in 98, that's right, yeah.
Okay. And how does it compare in terms of the winemaking experience in the wines compared to the other wines?
Well, it has a great deal of nuance and concentration and individuality, I think. It's a site that I knew would make very interesting wine. I didn't know how it would be different or unique, and I didn't know what kind of challenges it would present in farming it, but it's a windy ridgetop, rocky soil, a cobbly clay loam soil at 700 feet elevation on the ridge between Sonoma and Petaluma. And it's all things that a good vineyard site should be. All the great sites of the world, if you do some reading in the wine literature, are usually higher elevation sites on hillsides and slopes as opposed to valley floor sites. So this would be something that we would be working with that was new, different from what we started our business with. So that's the primary basis of the vineyards and why I was attracted to the site.
And now you're going with over 10 vintages strong with this.
Yeah, we planted in 98. Our first real production was in 02. So
okay.
We're about 10 years into it now.
Right, and they're fantastic wines. You really get a sense when you. I love the Chardonnay, the Sonoma Coast Chardonnay. The Wildcat definitely you get another level of depth in the wine. You get more complexity, just a fuller experience on the palate overall, and you get different types of citrus character. You get a little bit more lime citrus character, a little bit more mineral character. You have been working sustainably, as they say, or certified sustainably. Talk just a little bit about that and how that pertains to the wines themselves.
Well, it certainly gives us I suppose it provides a mantra for us to always think carefully about sustainable practices, to be respectful of the environment, and I think that's given us a greater attention to the quality of what we do. Mindful of using as few resources, expensive and carbon producing resources as possible, so we watch everything from water consumption to what kind of recycling we're doing, packaging materials we're buying. Even the weight of our bottles is an example of something that pays attention to just trying to lower our carbon footprint and putting pomace, that is the waste of stems and skins and seeds from the grapes at the winery back, composted back into the vineyard, using fewer chemicals in the vineyard, relying mostly upon Mother Nature's sulfur as a fungicide. Those are the kinds of things that we're doing, and we, in order to stay a California certified sustainable winery, we have to keep improving our practices. So it gives us something constructive to do every year and to pay attention to and to be mindful of just improving our practices.
Steve, thank you so much for coming by. I love the wines, and we look forward to seeing you when you come back, and I look forward to coming out and seeing you when I head over to California. You saw it here, 67 Wine and Spirits, Steve MacRostie, MacRostie Vineyards. You can get the wines here, online, or in the store.